Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss books and horror. And today I bring you part 2 of my kind of like shelf tour. Today we're gonna be taking a look at all my YA books. This is a slightly bigger section than the middle grade, so I'm gonna show you all the current YA books that I have on my TBR pile, the ones that I have on my shelves, plus the new ones that I have on my TBR card, so that you get to see the reality of all the ones that I currently own. So let's get into it.
It's coffee time.
Okay, you guys, so we're gonna start with this section over here, which are some hardcover YA books that I own. I don't own so many in hardcover because I mostly want to keep them in paperback, but I still do have some in hardcover. So we will go through the hardcovers first and then dive into all the paperbacks that I have. I do have them in sections. So first I have the general YA horror books, then I have the Point Horrors, Christopher Pike and Errol Steins and all of that. So let's start with the hardcover YAs. First we have the Inheritance Games, which is a trilogy that I have not started yet, but I'm really intrigued about it. So I got book 1 and I also got book 2. It's by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Then I have, of course, the Buffy books by Kendare Blake. I have In Every Generation. And I have One Girl in All the World. Can really recommend this if you love Buffy. Then, another one of my favorites, Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar. Love it so much. Perfect for the Halloween season. And part 2, Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives. Love the cover as well. Cannot wait for part 2. Then I have this one, which is written in prose, and it is Wicked Girls. And I still have not read it, but I'm really intrigued about this one. And it deals with witches and I think the Salem trials and stuff. So I'm really intrigued about it. Then I have Extasia by Claire Legrand. I bought this one last year at Yacht because it was on sale. I think I only paid £5 for it. And I was really excited because I love Claire Legrand's other book, the Soul Kill Girls. So I'm really excited to see what I think about this one, but I still have not checked it out. But I mean, this cover, stunning. Then I have Sick, which is a book that I've had for a really long time. I think it is kind of like a post-apocalyptic zombie kind of thing in high school, but I haven't been able to part with it, and I also haven't read it yet, so I should probably get to this one. Then I have The Last Harvest, which I really enjoyed, and it's also perfect for fall and winter, by Kim Liggett. I thought this one was really good, so if you're looking for a YA that is also perfect for the spooky season, this one is another one that I would recommend. Then I have a duology that is perfect for people that are looking for a cute YA book about witches. This one is called Once a Witch by Caroline McCullough. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And the second book in the duology is called Always a Witch. So Once a Witch, Always a Witch. Then I have Devil in Ohio, which I've also read and I thought it was really cute as well, by Daria Palatin, and this one is about secret societies / cults, and I also love this cover so much. Then I got this one, which is another book in the Buffyverse called Bloody Fool for Love, a Spike prequel by William Ritter, and I still have not read this one, but I really want to get to it. Another one that I bought, dying to read it, but I still have not read yet, is Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Tirado. I have been so excited about this book and I bought it and I still have not read it. Story of our lives, right? But I really want to get to it. Then I have Diary of a Hunting that I found recently at a second-hand store by M. Verano, and this is one that I have seen basically since I joined BookTube so many years, and I have always been intrigued by the cover and I've always wanted to try it, so now I have a copy. Then I have Bad Call, which is another one that I got some time ago and I never read it. It's by Stephen Wallenfels, and another one that I should probably get to because I've had this one for years. Another one that was a lot of fun and that I have actually read was this one, Resurrection High, a black comedy. And I recommend you guys if you're looking for something fun, but also with some horror in it to read. All right, so now let's go to some of the paperbacks. We have The Trial by Laura Bates, and I still have not read this one. Then I have You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Caitlin Barron. I enjoyed it, but probably not as many other people did, but I still enjoyed it, had a good time with it, and this cover is fantastic, so I'm keeping it in the collection. Then I have this duology that I picked up a long time ago. It's called The Hallowed Ones by Laura Bickle and The Outside. And I picked them up because I think these are kind of like historic horror, and the covers look really great, and I don't know, I was really excited about it, and I bought them, and I still have not read it, so if you've read them, let me know down below if they're worth it. Then I have All These Bodies by Kendara Blake. I really love this one. It's quite dark. It's kind of like more psychological horror. It's very bloody, and I really enjoyed it. Then I got this one at Yelp last year and I still have not read it. It's called The Devil Makes 3 by Tori Bobalino, and I don't know, I thought it would be like a fun horror that I could read, but I still haven't got to it. Then I got Dead Lucky, which I'm also really excited to read. And I met the author at Yelp last year, and she's lovely, and I really need to get to this one. It's a YA thriller, and I'm dying to read it. Moving on to another book that I bought at Yelp last year is The Stranded by Sarah Daniels, and I got this one because it has a little bit of sci-fi in it, so I thought it would be interesting. Also Ready or Not by Tracy Darnton, another one that I picked up at Yelp last year and have not read. Say Her Name by Juno Dawson. I have read this one. It is a retelling on Bloody Mary, and I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun. I can recommend it to you guys if you're looking for something with Bloody Mary in it. And this is Bite Risk by S.J. Wills that I read this year. I thought it was a lot of fun, and this one has such a unique take on werewolves. So if you're looking for a tale on werewolves that is different, definitely recommend you guys this one. Now let's check this small shelf I have here. So the first one is a book that I found at a secondhand store. It's What the Woods Keep, and I had heard things about these, that it was good, and I found it at the secondhand store and decided to buy it, but I still have not read it yet. Then I have Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a lot of fun, and it's another one of those that combines movies and legends with horror. And the other one by Kat Ellis that I have is Wicked Little Deeds. I know this one has a different name in the US, so make sure to check that. But this one was such a good horror thriller, such a good mystery. Definitely recommended. Very cozy horror, perfect for the winter season. And then I have my Catherine Foxville collection. I have Good Girls Die First, Tag You're Dead, and Getting Away with Murder. I still need to get the other books that I don't have by her, but definitely an out-of-buy author for me. Then I have The Creeper Man by Don Kurtagic. It's still one of my favorite covers of all times. I just love this cover so much. I mean, just look at it. And The Dead House, also by Don Kurtagic. I thought it was fantastic. It has mixed media, also perfect for winter. Then I got Every Line of You by Naomi Gibson. This was recommended to me by the Chicken House people that were at Yelp last year, but I still have not read it. Then I have This Book Kills by Ravenna Guron, and I have a spoiler-free review of the book on my channel. Really enjoyed this mystery thriller. Then I have his first book on a series called The Enemy by Charlie Higson, and this is kind of like a post-apocalyptic series, so I thought if I get the first book I can see if I like it or not. I'm really intrigued about this one. Then I have Hideous Beauty by William Hussey, and I really need to get to this one actually because he's coming to Yelp this year and I have not read this one yet, so I really need to get to it. Then we have Someone Is Watching You by Tess James McKay, and I love this one. I had so much fun with it, loved it, can recommend it to you guys. It's on an abandoned prison and it was fantastic. Next we have A Wicked Magic by Sasha Lawrence. Still have not read it, but I mean, Magic, the cat, I had to get it. And now we're gonna move over here to this section. Now these ones are very tight together, so please bear with me. So this is Stockhill Girls by Claire Legrand. Takes place in an island. It was quite intense and I absolutely loved it. Can definitely recommend. Then I have this one that I have not read yet. It's called It Will End Like This by Cara Lee, and I just love the cover so much, and I think it was on sale on Yalk last year, so I decided to just grab it. Then we have Daughters Unto Devils by Amy Lukavics, and this is such a dark story, such a different take. I said when I read it that it was The House on the Prairie, but make it horror, and I still stand by that. I thought it was great, especially if you love more psychological horror. Then I have Let's Play Murder by Kessia Lupo that I really loved. You need to get to this one if you love VR games and, you know, media technology kind of in your horror. This one was great. Then I have How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather, which is still one of my favorite witch books that are YA. And I believe the author is kind of related somehow to Salem and witch trials and things like that. So she kind of had her own input in the story. Then we have, of course, my Mina collection. I have Mina and the Undead by Amy McCall. I have the arc of the second book. I have the second book, Mina and the Slayers. And soon, hopefully, at some point in 2024, we will get the third book on the series. Then I have The Cousins by Karen McManus. I read One of Us is Lying and enjoyed it, but unhauled it because I couldn't see myself rereading it. But I still wanted to read more by the author, so I grabbed this one last year at Yalk. Then I have my Cynthia Murphy collection. I have Last One to Die, Win, Lose, Kill, Die, The Midnight Game, and Welcome to Camp Killer. Then I have Never World Wake by Marisha Bessel, and I got this one again as a secondhand store, and I still have not read it, but really want to. Heard many people talking about it when it came out. Then I have There's Someone Inside Your House. I wanted to read it before the movie came out. I think it was on Netflix. This is by Stephanie Perkins, and I really enjoyed both the book and the movie. Then This Lie Will Kill You by Chelsea Pitcher, and another one that I wanted to try, but I still haven't. Then I have another book that I picked up at Yalk last year because I love this cover, the colors, I just loved it. It's called The Hunting of Lindy Pennyworth by S.M. Pope, and I still have not read it, but I really want to. Then I have Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This one, I mean, the cover alone, come on, it's fantastic, and it was an interesting take on kind of like body horror for YA readers, so really interesting. Then Hold Back the Tide by Melinda Salisbury, and I ended up loving this book so much more than I anticipated, and I can definitely recommend it to you guys. It was unexpected, it was creepy, absolutely loved it. Then These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling, another one that pleasantly surprised me. I thought this might be a little bit too cheesy for me, but I actually ended up really connecting with the characters, and I do want to get the second book on the series. Next we have The Society for Soulless Girls by Laura Steven. Really enjoyed this one as well, really atmospheric, another one perfect for the winter. And then I have Perfectly Preventable Deaths, and the second book, Precious Catastrophe by Deidre Sullivan. And I really loved the first book, so I'm really excited about catching up with book 2. This one's felt like witch books, but super realistic, and I don't know, there was something about the characters that was so compelling to me that I absolutely loved the first book. Then we have This Is Not a Test, which is a very interesting and realistic as well take on zombies and a zombie apocalypse and what will happen. It is by Courtney Summers, and I really enjoyed it. I would say this is more psychological and drama than a true horror, but it does have parts of, you know, scary moments and a little bit of blood in it. Another one that was fantastic is House of Hollow. This was great. It's so atmospheric, definitely for those out there looking for some atmospheric, more psychological horror. Then I have Battle Royale, which I still have not read, spoiler alert, but I love the movie so much. This movie is one of my favorites. I have absolutely loved this movie, and I really want to check the source material, which is the book, so hopefully at some point I will get to read it. Then I have Such a Good Liar by Sue Wallman. I believe this one I also got at Yelp. I basically bought every thriller or horror YA that I could find, but I still have not read it. Then I have Bleeding Earth by Caitlin Ward, another one that I've been meaning to read, but I haven't. And then I have a couple of the Red Eye collection, and I still want to get more. I want to get them all, basically. This is Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell. And I thought this one was fantastic, definitely for those of you out there that are looking for a creepy doll book. Then we have Charlotte Says, which is, I think, officially a prequel, but this one came out later, so I'm going to read it in publication order, and I will be reading this one because I've already read Frozen Charlotte. I have Savage Island by Brianna Pierce, and I really love this one. It's a great book about basically a contest in which people go to an island to win a prize, but the challenges that they face in order to get to the prize basically can cost them their lives. So it was really entertaining and I loved it. And the sequel is this one here called Cruel Castle. I still have not read this one, but I really want to. And last but not least, also by Brianna Pierce, I have Raising Hell. This one just sounded like so much fun, and I cannot wait to read this one. Now let's get to this section, and these are mostly my point horror books and my Christopher Pike books. I have a lot of the point horror ones, so let's get through them swiftly. We have Free Stack, The Babysitter, The Babysitter 2, April Fools, The Boyfriend, Homecoming Queen, The Teacher's Pet, Beach House, The Window, The Fever, The Hitchhiker, The Lifeguard, The Dead Game, Camp Fear, Dream Date, The Stranger, The Vampire's Promise, Driver's Dead, The Body, Vampire's Love, Amnesia, Double Date, The Stalker. Then I have In Spirit, which is from Point Horror Unleashed. Then I have a Point Crime, which is called School for Death. Then I put this one here because it reminds me of the Point Horror books and Christopher Pike books. Even though this is a new book, it is a retro thriller called Hall of Mirrors by Charles Ash, and I really enjoyed this one. Then we have The Face on the Milk Carton. Really love it. I managed to get book 2, What Happened to Janie, but I still have not managed to get book 3. Then I have this Bone Chillers one, The Shopping Spree. And I just put here this randomly, I didn't know where to put it, but this is just a Nancy Drew Files, Murder on Ice. It's really hard for me to get Nancy Drew books here, so this is the only one that I have ever found. So it's here, representing. Then I have, from Christopher Pike, I have Weekends, Final Friends 3, The Graduation, Spellbound, See You Later, The Wicked Heart. I have a different copy of Spellbound. Then I have Bury Me Deep, Master of Murder, another different copy of Master of Murder. I love this one a lot more, obviously. Then I have The Immortal, The Listeners, and The Cold One. Then I have The Midnight Club, which I really loved, and The Last Vampire 2, Black Blood. And the very last one from Christopher Pike that I own is this one here, Spooksville, The Secret Path. And then I have these two books here because I have nowhere else to put them. I have The Last Girl by Goldie Moldavsky, which is a regular YA book. And I have here Anna Dressed in Blood because I also didn't know where to put it. I need to make more space on my regular YA books. And last but not least, we have this little section over here. We have first some of the Fear Street books that I've been able to get. I still need to get so many more, but I do have Halloween Party. I have The Betrayal. We have The Boy Next Door. Bad Dreams. The Stepsister. The Wrong Number. The New Year's Party. And then I have these bigger editions that they have been releasing. They're not my favorite, but at least I get to read the books. So I have Double Date, The First Horror, Fear Hall, The Beginning, Broken Hearts, and I plan to read this one next year for Valentine's. We have Party Summer. Then I have I Know What You Did Last Summer. I have this ones. It's the Whirling, Wounded, and Resurrection. I think I picked them up also at a secondhand store, but I still have not read them. And then I have Of Men and Monsters, which was a really good novella by Tom Deddy. And then I have a couple of the Rachel Kane books, the Morganville Vampires. I have Glass Houses. I have The Dead Girls Dance, The Midnight Alley, and Carpe Corpus. So I do want to finish collecting these ones in paperback so that I can read the series, because I still haven't, even though I know these are older books. But those are all the ones that I currently own. And then I have this pile here, you guys, and these are YA horror thriller books that I have either recently purchased or that I have been currently reading, and so I still have them here and not on the shelves. We have Five Survive by Holly Jackson that you guys know I want to read before Yalk. Then we have The Agathas, which I wanted to see if I could read it before Yalk, but it's never going to happen. I mean, it's a chunker of a book, but I still want to read it at some point. Then I have A Taste of Darkness, which is a YA horror compilation. Is short horror stories from well-known YA writers, and I really enjoyed this one. I just finished it, so it will be joining my shelves really soon. Then I have Channel Fear by Lisa Richardson, which I also read this month, so the review will be coming up soon. Then we have Autumn Crow High, Fresh Hell by Cameron Chaney, which I still need to read. It's really high on my priority list. Then we have Wise Creatures by Deirdre Sullivan, another one that I want to read before Yalk. Hopefully I will be able to. And last but not least, I have 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot, and this was such a great paranormal book. The world building was fantastic, the characters were fantastic, and this is also going to join my bookshelves really soon. Alright, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed to see which books I have, and let me know down below which is a YA horror book that I need to check that you think I would absolutely love. I am loving reading a lot more YA lately. I think they are very comforting to me and a little bit of a break from really disturbing adult horror. Also, I love to see the horror tropes applied to other ages and not just, you know, see them over and over in adult books. I think it's really interesting to see how horror tropes tend to change a little bit between middle grade YA and adult. Maybe I'll make some videos about that as well, because it's something that has always intrigued me to see how different, you know, ages need to approach tropes in a different way. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this little tour, and thank you guys as always so much for your support. I hope to see you all, as always, in our next coffee time. Bye!